नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तमलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 3 श्लोक 41। तस्मात् त्वमिन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजहिह्येनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्। काम is a shatru, enemy of a mumukshu. Therefore, it is necessary to conquer the enemy, kama. And the kama is located in Indriya, Manas and Buddhi. Already we have seen the adhisthana, the locus of the enemy kama. And when the locus is known, it is easy to conquer the enemy. Now, in the next three shlokas, 41 to 43, Krishna is explaining the way to conquer kama. How to conquer kama? Kama Jaya. How to accomplish victory over kama? How to destroy kama? It is being discussed. The way to conquer kama involves 2 stages. The strategy to conquer kama involves 2 stages. In the first stage, one has to discipline one's indriyani, manaha and buddhi. Restrain the indriyani, manaha and buddhi. It is the first stage, which requires a lot of disciplining, lot of willpower, not allowing the senses to function impulsively, cultivating vairagya, everything is involved. Indriya Nigraha is the first stage. Indriya Nigraha or Indriya Niyamanam. But even if one has restrained the Indriyas, one has disciplined the Indriyas, the Kama is not fully destroyed. The Kama still persists. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drashtva nivartate. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drashtva nivartate. We have seen in chapter 2. Even after restraint of the Indriya, up to certain extent, the desire remains alive in the mind in its subtler form, and it can sprout at any time. Therefore, the ultimate conquest of the desire happens only with the Atmajnana. Therefore, the second stage, the second step in the strategy is to know the Atma, to accomplish Atmajnana. That is the ultimate solution. But the Atmajnana is not possible without restraining the senses up to a great extent. Without accomplishing a good amount of Indriya Nigraha, Atmajnana is not possible. That is why Krishna does not say, go to Atmajnana directly. Attend the class directly, he doesn't say. Before attending the class, make effort to get certain amount of self-discipline. Indriya Nigraha. Tasmat. Therefore means since Indriya etc. are the adhishthanam of Kama. Therefore, He Bharatarshava, Bharatanam Rishabha, one who is bull among Bharata, the family of Bharatas, the descendant of Bharata. Bull means a great one. In Samskrita, it is an expression. If we have to say someone is a bull, someone is great, we use the word Rishabha, Shardula, Narashardula. Shardula means a tiger. Narashardula. Bharatarshava, bull among Bharata. Purusharshabha. So it is a figurative way of expressing the greatness of someone. Tvam adau indriyani niyamya. Tvam, you. Adau, in the beginning. as a first stage, as the initial stage, as a preparatory stage to conquer kama. Indriyani niyamya, restraining your indriyani and cultivating restraint of the indriyas involve various disciplines. All the karma yoga contributes to indriya niyamanam. Yajna, dana, tapas, everything contributes to restraint of senses and mind, disciplining of senses and mind. Then cultivating vairagya, using one's willpower, everything is involved. It is a great process, a long process to restrain the senses, to discipline the senses. It requires tremendous willpower. Indriyani niyamya. Then, after that, Papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Enam, this Papmanam, this papa. Papma is papi, one who causes all the papa. Reference to kama. Jnana vijnana nashanam, which destroys jnana as well as vijnana. Papmanam prajahihi, give up the kama by means of attaining atmajnana, jnanena, kamam parityaja. Prajahihi. Prajahihi is a verb. In some reading it may be prajahi and he may be separate, but it is not a good reading. Prajahihi is a better reading. Prajahihi or prajahihi, both are okay. Prajahihyenam should be together, not separate. Ohak tyage. Lot madhyama purusha ekavachanam becomes prajahihi. Pra upasarga jahihi. We'll see the bhashya. Yataha evam tasmat tvam indriyani adau purvameva niyamya vashikritya bharatarshabha papmanam papacharam kamam prajahihi parityaja enam prakritam vairinam jnana vijnana nashanam jnanam shastratah acharyatascha atmadinam avabodhah vijnanam visheshatah tad anubhavah तयोः ज्ञानविज्ञानयोः श्रेयः प्राप्तिहेत्वोः नाशनं नाशकरं प्रजहिः आत्मनः परित्यज इत्यर्थः। यतः एवं, since it is so, referring to previous verse, इंद्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिर अस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते इत्यादि। तस्मात्, therefore, त्वं इंद्रियाणि आदौ पूर्वमेव नियम्य। इंद्रियाणि stands for both indriyas, manas and buddhi. Purvameva, adau is purvameva, means jnanotpattehe purvameva, before jnana. Niyamya means vashikritya, restraining the senses, disciplining the senses. Bharatarshava, papmanam is equal to papacharam, one who does papa, causes papa. Kamam prajahihi, parityaja, prajahihi is equal to parityaja, give up, be free from kama. And how to be free from kama will come in the next two verses. How to be completely free from kama. Indriya niyamana itself is not going to make one free from kama. Still it will remain, though the indriyas are restrained. Indriya niyamanam is like a first aid. But then the person has to be taken to hospital. Enam prakritam vairinam. Enam means prakritam vairinam. Enam is prakritam, the one who is under discussion. So, anything referred to by idam shabda or etad shabda. Enam is etad shabda, pronoun, means prakritam, which is under discussion. Vairinam, it is a vairi, enemy. Jnana vijnana nashanam, how it is vairi? Because it destroys jnana and vijnana. So, generally, we just say jnana, knowledge, for atma jnana. But here Krishna uses two words, jnana vijnana nashanam. If two words are used, we have to make a slight distinction. The atma jnana takes place in two stages. Initially, they call it paroksha jnanam. When you know Atma exists, Brahman exists, Brahma asti, it is paroksha jnana. Asti Brahma iti jnana. There is Brahman. And you may as well say, according to Shastra, I am Brahman. But it is still bookish for you, kind of. Bookish. Theoretical. Because he is not able to see it as something workable. He is not really convinced of the truth about it. Aham Brahmasmi. So until then it is Paroksha Jnana. But then after a long time, sometimes after a long time, not necessarily after a long time, for some people it will not take a very long time if they have adequate Shraddha, Bhakti, etc. Shraddha and Bhakti play a very important role in getting the proper understanding. So, if one does not have Shraddha and one does not have Bhakti, it remains bookish. It remains Paroksha. All these are bookish. Some people come and tell also. Yasya deve parabhaktihi yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hyarthaha prakashante mahatmanaha. Yasya deve parabhaktihi. One should have great devotion to Deva, Ishvara. And yatha deve tatha gurau. He has the same amount of devotion to Guru also. Does not see Guru as different from Ishvara. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. He sees Guru and Ishvara as equal. Tasya Mahatmanaha, for such a person. And Shvetashvatara Upanishad calls him a Mahatma if he has such a great devotion. Ete arthaha prakashante. Ete arthaha. This teaching, the truth which is revealed in the Shastra, which is taught by the Guru, prakashante. They unfold to him. They become as clear as daylight. Aham Brahmasmi becomes as clear as daylight. Without any doubt, without any vagueness, you are able to understand it. Without any pratibandha. So, that is aparoksha jnana. You have no doubt, aham brahmasmi. No obstacle. You are able to say with the confidence, aham brahmasmi. Then it is aparoksha jnana. Apratibadha jnana. Apratibadha aparoksha jnana. The aparoksha jnana which is free from all obstacles. It is called vijnanam. Before that it is a jnana. Just jnana. There is Brahman and Shastra says I am Brahman. I am not sure. And I don't know whether it is really workable also. So there is a lot of obstacle. Pratibadha. So that is why Krishna distinguishes jnana and vijnana. Jnanam shastratah acharyatascha atmadinam avabodhaha. Atmadinam avabodhaha. Understanding Atma, etc. From Shastra and Acharya. Shastratah acharyatascha. Atmadinam means Atma, Anatma, Ishvara, various tattvas that are taught in the Vedanta. You understand them. It is jnanam. Vijnanam visheshatah tadanubhavaha. Vijnanam means properly understanding it. Visheshatah tadanubhavaha. Clearly understanding it. Tayoho ज्ञान विज्ञानयोः श्रेयः प्राप्ति हेतोः नाशनं नाशकरं प्रजहिः आत्मनः परित्यज इत्यर्थः तयोः ज्ञान विज्ञानयोः नाशनम. Jnana and Vijnana, they are Shreyah Prapti Hetu, the means for attaining Shreyaha, the means to attain moksha. Nashanam means Nashakaram. The Kama destroys Jnana and Vijnana, does not allow Jnana and Vijnana to stay in the mind. Prajahihi Atmanaha Parityaja. Atmanaha Jnana Vijnana Nashanam. One who destroys the Jnana and Vijnana of oneself. Prajahihi is equal to Parityaja. Give up. Ityarthaha. Prajahihi means Parityaja. Give up. Indriyani Adau Niyamya Kamam Shatrum Jahihi Ityuktam Tatra Kimashayaha Kamam Jahyat iti Uchyate. Indriyani Adau Niyamya Kamam Shatrum Jahihi Ityuktam. It is Uktam, told in the previous shloka. What? Indriyani Adau Niyamya, restraining the senses initially. Kamam Shatrum Jahihi, give up. Give up the Kama, which is Shatru. Tatra, then Kimashayaha, taking recourse to what? Taking recourse to what means? Kamam Jahyat. One can give up Kama. Iti. So, if Kama has to go, one has to take refuge at something. Why do we have Kama? Because we are seeking completeness. The mind starves for completeness. The mind starves for satisfaction. Therefore, it tries to find satisfaction in the anatma, in the non-self. It thinks the anatma can give satisfaction. The anatma can give completeness. And it is the cause of kama. When you seek satisfaction in the anatma, when you seek satisfaction in the external world, it causes kama. The kama will not disappear as long as the mind discovers satisfaction. The kama will not go away as long as the mind does not discover completeness. Therefore, it has to discover the completeness within, in the Atma. It has to find satisfaction in the Atma, in the Swarupa. That is how one can put an end to seeking happiness externally. And it is the only way to be free from kama. That is why kimashayaha, taking recourse to what source of happiness, what source of satisfaction. If you are taking away the supply of happiness to the mind, you have to find another channel of satisfaction. Until then, the mind will not stay quiet. Therefore, the way to be free from kama absolutely is to find the inner source of satisfaction. Find the completeness within oneself. Therefore, kimashayaha, Bhashyakara using the word kimashayaha very carefully. Taking recourse to what? Kamam jahyat. One can be free from kama. Iti uchyate. It is being said. One has to take refuge at the Atma. One has to depend on the Atma for happiness and thereby give up seeking happiness in the Anatma, depending on Anatma for happiness. And it is accomplished through Atmajnana. So that is the way to be totally free from kama. Indriyani paranyahuhu Indriyebhyah param manaha Manasastu para buddhihi Yo buddheh paratastu saha. So, how to arrive at the Atma? So one has to take refuge at the Atma to be free from Kama. Then how to arrive at the Atma? Krishna is giving the prakriya, the process to arrive at the Atma. Starting from the body, Sharira. The Krishna is addressing a person who is identifying with the body, who has Dehabhimana, and he has Dehatma Buddhi. He identifies with the body. Then Bhagavan says, there is something greater than the body, subtler than the body, internal to the body, and more pervasive than the body. It is the Indriyani, the senses. Indriyani parani ahuhu. Vidushaha, the learned ones. According to them, Indriyani are parani. Indriyas are greater than the body and also the external objects. Compared to the body as well as the external objects, Indriyas are greater. Indriyebhyah param manaha. Manas is greater than the Indriya as well. I don't have to explain this anymore because already you have seen this in Kathopanishad. In Kathopanishad we have seen it twice and this is the third time. Manasastu para buddhihi. Buddhi is greater than manas also. And yo buddhev paratastu saha. Yaha buddhehe parataha. One who is greater than buddhi. Saha. He is saha. Saha atma. The atma is greater than buddhi also. Here Krishna has jumped 2 steps, not even 1 step. Buddheratma mahan paraha mahataf param avyaktam avyaktat purushah paraha. So 2 steps he has skipped. So Krishna is very tall perhaps. Indriyani Shotradini Pancha Deham Sthulam Bahyam Parichinnancha Apekshya Saukshmya Antasthatva Vyapitvadyapekshaya Parani Prakrishtani Ahuhu Panditaha. Panditaha. Ahuhu is a verb, and for that we need an agent, a karta, who says Panditaha ahuhu. The wise men say so. Indriyani Shrotradini Pancha, the 5 senses, Shrotra, etc. Deham Sthulam Bahyam Parichinnancha Apekshya. Deham Apekshya. Compared to the Deha, compared to the body, they are Parani. Why they are parani? Deha is sthula, Deha is gross, and it is bahya, it is external, means it is objectified by the senses. And parichinnam, the body is limited in size. Cha apekshya, compared to this body, which is sthula, bahya and parichinna. All these three are hetugarbha visheshanam. They together serve as hetu. Why deha is lesser, inferior compared to indriya. Saukshmya antasthatva vyapitvadyapekshaya. Because of saukshmya, sukshmatvam. Saukshmyam means sukshmatva, subtleness. Antasthatva, indriya is internal compared to the deha. And vyapitva, indriyas are more pervasive than the body. The body is only in one place, whereas indriya can pursue much larger domain than the body itself. They can perceive the external other objects also. In that way, they are vyapi. Vyapitva adi apekshaya. Because of saukshmya, antasthatva, vyapitva, etc. Parani. So adi means nitya also. Compared to the body, they are more lasting. So nityatvadyapekshaya. Parani, prakrishtani ahuhu. They are greater. Prakrishta. Panditaha. Tatha. Indriyebhyaha. Param. Manaha. Sankalpa vikalpadyatmakam. Tatha, also similarly, likewise, indriyebhyaha param manaha. Manaha is greater than indriya also. And what is manaha? Sankalpa vikalpadyatmakam. The faculty dealing with sankalpa, vikalpa, etc. Tatha manasastu para buddhihi nishchayatmika. Tatha, similarly, manasaha tu para buddhihi. Buddhi is greater than manas also. Buddhi is nishchayatmika. Buddhi is characterized by nishchaya, ascertainment, decision. Tatha yaha sarvadrishyebhyaha buddhyantebhyaha abhyantaraha yam dehinam indriyadibhihi ashrayaihi yuktaha kamaha jnanavarnadvarena mohayati ityuktam buddhehe paratastu saha buddherdrashta para atma. Tatha, similarly, yaha sarvadrishyebhyaha buddhyantebhyaha abhyantaraha. One who is abhyantaraha, internal, compared to all the drishyas. Internal compared to all the drishyas. means one who does not become drishya at all. Anything which becomes a drishya is external. So abhyantara means everything else is its drishya, but it does not become drishya by itself. Buddhyantebhyah abhyantaraha. It is internal compared to all drishyas, including buddhi, up to buddhi. Buddhyantebhyah drishyebhyah. The drishyas ending with the buddhi. If you analyze the drishyas one by one, so for body, indriyani, compared to indriya, sharira is drishya. Compared to manas, indriya is drishya. Compared to buddhi, manas is drishya. So likewise, compared to atma, everything else is drishya. And atma drigevanatu drishyate. Yam dehinam indriyadibhihi ashrayaihi yuktaha kamaha. Yam dehinam, which dehi, the atma is present in the form of dehi, jivatma. Indriyadibhihi ashrayaihi yuktaha. So which dehi is described in the previous verses as the one who gets deluded by kama. Yam dehinam indriyadibhihi ashrayaihi yuktaha kamaha. The kama which is accompanied by indriya, etc., which are its locus, occupying indriya, etc., as its locus. Jnana dvarena, by means of jnana avarana, by means of veiling the jnana, viveka, mohayati ityuktam. Mohayati, kama deludes. This was told before. Saha, he, means the real nature of that dehi is buddheha paraha. The real nature of the jiva is buddheha paraha, is superior to buddhi, greater than buddhi, transcends buddhi. And he is buddheha drashta, the witness of buddhi, the Chaitanya who witnesses buddhi, illuminer of buddhi. And he is paraha atma, he is the paramatma. Evam buddhev param buddhva samstabhyatmanamatmana jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. Now, Bhagavan is concluding the chapter by explaining how to conquer kama, how to destroy kama by taking recourse to Atmajnana. Evam, in this manner, He Mahabaho, O Mahabahu, another title of Arjuna, description of Arjuna. Buddhehe param buddhva, understanding the one who transcends buddhi, understanding the Atma who transcends buddhi, who is greater than buddhi. In this manner, as described in the previous shloka. Evam Atmanam Atmana Samstabhya. Here Atma means mind, Antahkarana. Atmanam Atmana Samstabhya. Restraining the mind with the help of mind. Restraining the Antahkarana. And the Antahkarana has to be restrained only by means of Antahkarana. Even the willpower and the effort that is needed to restrain the mind, it has to happen in the mind only. Therefore, Atmanam Atmana Samstabhya. Kamarupam Durasadam Shatrum Jahi. Kamarupam Shatrum. The Shatru who is in the form of Kama. And it is Durasadam. Difficult to attain. Durasadam literally means difficult to approach. Even difficult to approach. Very dangerous. And Bhashyakara says, it is difficult to predict when Kama will come, difficult to understand it. Unpredictable. If you can predict where the enemy is attacking, you can easily conquer. But this is unpredictable. Durvidnyeya aneka prakaram, aneka vishesham. It takes many forms, and we cannot know which form it takes. In which way the Kama appears is very difficult to predict. Therefore, Durasadam, Kamam Jahi. Jahi means destroy. Jahi is Handhatu. See, previously Prajahihi, it is another dhatu, Oha Tyage, which means give up. Here Krishna uses another dhatu, Jahi, means destroy, kill. Evam buddhehe param atmanam buddhva ज्ञात्वा संस्तभ्य सम्यक् स्तम्भनं कृत्वा आत्मानं स्वेनैव आत्मना संस्कृतेन मनसा सम्यक् समाधाय इत्यर्थः. जहि एनं शत्रुं हे महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदं दुःखेन आसादः आसादनं प्राप्तिः यस्य तं दुरासदं दुर्विज्ञेयानेक विशेषम इति. Evam, in this manner, as described in the previous shloka, Buddhehe param atmanam, the Atma who transcends buddhi. Buddhva means jnatva, understanding and assimilating the understanding. And the assimilation involves mastery over the mind also. Samstabhya atmanam atmana. Samstabhyatmanam atmana implies assimilation of Atmajnana. Samstabhya means samyak stambhanam kritva, properly restraining. Properly restraining what? Atmanam, the mind. How? Svena eva atmana, by itself. Svena eva, by the mind itself. Svena eva atmana means samskritena manasa, with the mind which is samskrita, a mind which is pure, with the pure mind. Samyak samadhaya ityartha means properly focusing on the Atmajnana, means properly assimilating the Atmajnana. Jahi enam shatrum, he Mahabaho, enam shatrum jahi, conquer, destroy this enemy. The enemy is Kama Rupam, which is in the form of Kama. And it is Durasadam, Dukkhena Asadaha. Asadaha means Asadanam. Asadanam means Praptihi. Approach is difficult. Yasya Dukkhena Asadaha Yasya Saha Durasadaha. Tam Durasadam, the one that is difficult to approach, meaning Durvidneya Aneka Vishesham iti. It has many Visheshas, it has many specific forms, various forms of Kama, and they are all Durvidneya, difficult to predict. When Kama will appear in which form, it is very difficult to predict. And most often we don't discover also. The Kama is there and it is taking me away. Without our knowledge, it drags a person. And only after you reach a few miles, you get to know, oh, I have come here. Kama has pulled me here. So, Kamam Jahi, destroy the Kama by understanding the Atma. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shantish Shantish Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.